I accepted. I don't know why. Please check your settings, Aaron. Hi, everyone on YouTube. So, we are basically going to be talking about forgiveness and लोगों को क्षमा करना, खुद को क्षमा करना और जिंदगी में आगे बढ़ना, क्योंकि जब तक आप दिल से किसी को क्षमा नहीं कर पाते, तब तक आप उस अनुभव से आगे नहीं बढ़ पाओगे. और इस बारे में कल हम एक स्पेशल शो करने वाले हैं, स्पेशल टॉक करने वाले हैं. आई हैव एक्सेप्टेड इट 10 times, एरन. आई कांट एक्सेप्ट यू ऑन इंस्टाग्राम. सो वो है जिन लोगों के साथ सेक्सुअल अब्यूज वगैरह हुआ है, उसके लिए हम कल करने वाले हैं. जैसे मर्डर, सेक्सुअल अब्यूज, ब्ला ब्ला, इस तरह की जो बड़ी बड़े हादसे होते हैं ना, तो उसके बारे में हम कल बात करेंगे. आज हम छोटी छोटी चीजों के बारे में बात करेंगे, अपनों के बारे में बात करेंगे. और ये बातें मैं करने वाली हूँ एरन डिसूजा के साथ. वेलकम एरन. So you're live on YouTube, but I am unable to add you on Instagram. How do I add you? I've accepted it so many times.
Can someone guide me? How do I accept this on Instagram?
No, you're doing the right thing. You're sending me an invitation to add you, and I am accepting it, but it's not happening. So there's something obviously wrong with your settings, your privacy settings. So you'll have to check that. Oh shit, you should have done this before. Hi Jay, hi Deepak, and hi Dipti, Amit, and everyone here. Sneha.
So is there any, can someone guide me? How do I check this out?
Now, when you're already live. Okay, so he is unable to do it. What I will do is I will download the YouTube session and upload it on Instagram. I guess he is unable to do it. So मैं यहाँ से अभी ऑफलाइन जाती हूँ. आप लोगों को अगर ये देखना है तो आप लोग YouTube पे आ सकते हैं. मेरा YouTube का चैनल और हैंडल गिनी अनेजा ही है, तो आप वहाँ पर आकर ये शो देख सकते हैं, क्योंकि ये Instagram पे आ नहीं पा रहे हैं. So there's no point in wasting everybody's time. So goodbye. I'll upload the session here, at least the key points of the session. The topic for today is forgiveness. Forgiving for self and others. That's the topic. Okay. Or I will just, what? Let it be. Okay, go on, talk. I'll let them hear it, then I will delete this session and I will upload the YouTube session then. Anyway, let me just put off the fan because I think you can hear the fan. Yeah, now the voice will be a little better for everybody. Okay, so unable to add you on Instagram, Aaron. I don't know what's gone wrong. Last time we did the live on Instagram, so that worked, I think. Anyway, that was 2 years back. So first, there are a lot of new subscribers, so I would request you to introduce yourself first so that people can know more.
Hello everyone, I'm Aaron Dsouza and I'm a therapeutic coach and an energy attunement specialist. Basically, I work extensively with emotion, well-being and energies of properties and people. That's the short introduction about me.
Energies of property. मतलब कि अगर आप कोई जमीन खरीदना चाहते हो तो वो जमीन आपको खरीदनी चाहिए कि नहीं, और वहां पर कोई भूत प्रेत तो नहीं है, कोई ब्लैक मैजिक तो नहीं है, वो सारी चीजें. He taps into the energy and he gives you a reading about that. So, and he's very good with it. My experience. Yes, Aaron.
Thank you, Kenny. Let me start off by saying thank you for this opportunity and invitation and this space that you hold for us and everyone who can benefit from it.
Thoda louder because Instagram वालों को सुनाई नहीं देगा.
Okay, so starting with the topic.
That is on YouTube. But Instagram people won't be able to hear. So I was about to say that you used to hold workshops.
Correct.
You know, for I think there were counseling workshops for relationships, finance, and all of that.
There are various workshops that I would conduct. It really depends. I even customize workshops based on the
Inner
need of the
child
client.
also, right?
Yeah, even in a
Inner
child.
child healing. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
They're all on my website. I've mentioned it. Before we start, please read the disclaimer which I've posted on the video. And please know that forgiveness is one topic which is very individualistic and specific. So it's
Can
a
you
very
hear his voice? One sec. Can you hear? आप लोगों को सुनाई दे रहा है? मुझे नहीं लगता सुनाई दे रहा है. तो मैं Instagram बंद करती हूँ. You can continue.
so it's going to be I'm going to just touch on it in a very generic way, but please understand that you will require professional help to really work on that area or segment of your life.
Hmm.
Now, when we speak about forgiveness, if you look at the definition, it's basically letting go of resentment and anger. I personally don't resonate with that definition of forgiveness, and you need
Letting
not
go of
resentment and anger.
resentment and
It's an
anger.
intentional process of letting go of resentment and anger. In my opinion, and having worked with a number of clients, and you need not resonate or agree with anything that I say henceforth, I don't believe in forgiveness.
You don't believe
I-
in forgiveness.
No, I don't believe in forgiveness. I believe in progress and growth.
Progress and growth. Okay. Okay.
Because forgiveness, generally, there are two people involved.
Hmm.
Initially, there's someone who has harmed you, or you have perceived it to be of some kind of harm, emotional or physical harm.
Right.
So they are at a superior level. And then when you hold on to that resentment and pain, unconsciously you start believing you have power over them. It actually becomes a power game.
Sorry. How do you start believing that you have power over them?
So when you don't want to forgive someone,
Hmm.
for example, how does that make you feel?
How does?
It make you feel. How does it make you feel? Let's take a specific, a more simpler topic, a simpler example so that you get this. Give me a simple thing, not something major.
Uh, Somebody who wants to, what example do I take? Somebody
Suppose
who's
someone cheated
probably,
you.
yeah, so somebody
Okay.
who promised a commitment and did not.
Mhm.
I mean, wanted to just get into your bed and they promised a
Okay.
commitment and later on they realized that no, that's not what I want. So that feels cheating.
That is not cheating
Or a
because
husband cheating on a wife, or somebody lying, somebody taking
let's take a simpler
keeping
one
a
because there
promise
are a
that
lot
I
of
will not do
layers to
this.
this. Let's take a
Huh?
simpler one of someone lying to you.
Huh. Okay.
Even lying, and maybe that lying impacted you because you took a decision based on that information
Right.
and that caused you certain financial loss. So that
Whatever
particular
else.
information was withheld.
Okay.
So initially you're angry, upset, sad that there are many layers that how could this person do this? I trusted this person. This is not fair. Or, and then we get into this whole zone of saying everyone is like that. Henceforth, I'm not going to forgive anyone. I'm not going to trust anyone. Do you see in the whole process, we start losing our essence. And then even people around us start saying, you should have been the smart one. Were you foolish to just trust this person blindly? So, do you see the layers of forgiveness is also at a societal level? People start questioning people who are very transparent. Now, I'll tell you how the power game starts. So, first you trust this person, and this person lies to you by withholding a particular information. Now you're angry and upset. You will notice that you will not remain angry or upset with anyone who you don't feel something about that person at some level. There is an associated emotion.
Okay.
You take anyone, there is an associated emotion with that person. There is an emotional transaction between two people.
But not necessarily. Acha. Okay.
You're not very audible.
There,
Your
there,
your
there
volume
could
is low.
be. Now, can you hear me?
Yeah.
There could be strangers who hurt you.
A stranger cannot hurt you to the level the
No,
you
sometimes they can.
generally so then it's not a stranger, no?
No, it is a stranger. I mean,
Give me an
I've had
example.
experiences.
Give me an example. Because what happens,
Okay, I'll
I
I'll
need a
give you
specific.
I'll give you an example. Uh, um, this is it just I think it happened a couple of days before.
Hmm,
I don't exactly remember, but somebody walking down the road
hmm.
said something. Okay,
For example,
I what did it, somebody said something. It's a stranger, total stranger. I don't even know
hmm,
that person.
hmm,
Now, uh, person doesn't matter, but it hurt my ego, or it hurt me for somebody to behave like that with me. Okay, so
hmm.
it is a stranger. I have no relation with that person, but it's hurt me.
The
So it
stranger
became
has not.
very difficult for me to forget that and move on, or
Hmm,
forgive that person. Like
okay.
about a month or two ago,
Hmm.
somebody cut a tree in the garden. I don't even know that person.
No,
And
let's stick to this. Let's stick to this example for the
huh,
benefit of the audience.
huh,
Give me a sentence that he or she said that
I
hurt you.
don't
Any
remember.
random. Okay, just for the sake of an example, give me an example.
Some gali maybe. You are dumb, you are stupid, you're
For
foolish,
example,
you.
you're dumb. Let's take you're dumb.
Huh, huh.
Okay. So you were walking and a stranger says you were dumb.
For whatever reason he said, I don't remember now what it was.
Okay. It's the words that the stranger used disturbed you.
Maybe along with the tone. Maybe I had
But
nothing to do with him. I mean, why should he behave like that?
whatever. But it disturbed you, right?
Yes, it did.
It disturbed you. Had the same thing be told by someone else who you know, for example, your son or someone who's very close to you, would the intensity of you being disturbed be the same?
See, honestly speaking, I don't remember the context of that thing.
Just example.
So I can't say, but if in the tone that was said, and the
Hmm,
reason why, that I don't remember the reason. He,
hmm.
whatever it was, I think I would be disturbed if somebody even close to me said that.
With the same intensity, exactly
Yes,
the same intensity. Think
maybe,
over it. You don't have to answer immediately. A stranger who
maybe
has
not so
hardly.
much. Maybe the intensity would be a little lower.
Yes, it is not possible for the intensity to be the same because in your subconscious mind it has an association.
Okay.
It's based on the association that we are able to also forgive or not forgive. So, getting back to the power game, when this person said something to you and just walked off, or whatever, I'm anticipating because I do not know, it's very
Yeah,
limited
yeah.
information,
Walked off.
just
Yes,
left off.
yes, yes.
The person physically is no more with you
No,
because the stranger said it.
I don't even remember the face and the name. I mean, I didn't
Correct.
know the name. Huh.
But now it has internalized that statement and has been internalized.
Hmm.
So now, when that statement is being internalized, it has triggered a memory.
Maybe.
It generally has triggered something because the same sentence can be used for your friend or someone else, and they will like, leave it. I don't even know what that person said.
Yeah.
Again, getting back to association, it is our internal association with that particular word that causes us that amount of pain.
Okay.
Now, when you are in pain, you start thinking a particular way about this individual.
Okay.
Hmm? Now, suppose this person meets you next time and you have the capability of confronting him because not everyone has the capability of confronting. You might ask him that on what basis did you make this nasty comment on me?
Hmm.
Suppose you don't have that opportunity or that skill set to question him back.
Hmm.
You are with the pain. You are with the pain, right? Now you're internalizing the pain. And as you're internalizing the pain, there is a part of you that feels bad because this has been told to me, and because there's an associated meaning with that particular thing, you start feeling the pain. Clear so far?
Hmm.
The second thing is now you're feeling the pain, but you do not know what to do about it.
Let me just translate that in Hindi because a lot of most of my viewers are Hindi language based. So यहाँ पर बात हो रही थी माफ करने की और we'll take the questions in the end, Jay, because otherwise they would only throw us off the track. So एरन ये बता रहे थे कि लोगों को जब हम माफ करते हैं तो आमतौर पे दो लोग होते हैं और वो उन आपकी उनसे जान पहचान होती है। तो मैंने कहा कि नहीं जरूरी नहीं है क्योंकि मेरे साथ ऐसा एक बार नहीं कई बार हुआ है। एक कुछ 25-30 साल पहले गाड़ी चलाते वक्त एक आदमी ने मुझे चिल्लाया था और अपनी गाड़ी से और बुरा भला बोला था। मैंने तो उतार के उसको धो दिया था, मतलब उस वक्त। लेकिन 30 इयर्स बैक समथिंग इस वक्त तो मैंने उसकी ये अभी कुछ 2-4 दिन पहले किसी ने मुझे चलते वक्त कुछ कहा तो मैंने कहा कि नहीं, कभी कभी अनजाने लोग भी हो सकते हैं। और इसी बारे में हम बात कर रहे थे तो मैंने कहा कि मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ 2-3 दिन पहले किसी बदतमीज इंसान ने गार्डन में मुझे कुछ पता नहीं किस वजह से, मुझे वो भी याद नहीं उसने क्या कहा वो भी याद नहीं, बस इतना याद है कि उसने कुछ कहा जो मुझे बहुत बुरा लगा। लेकिन मैं वहां से चुप करके चल पड़ी। आई डिड नॉट beat him up, Amit. I quietly just walked off because the person doesn't matter to me. वो इंसान मेरा कोई नहीं लगता और वो क्या सोचता है वो मेरा कोई नहीं लगता, मतलब मुझे कोई पड़ता। भाड़ में जाए जिसको
Pause,
जो
pause,
सोचना है।
1 minute. Can I pause you here?
हाँ।
वो क्या सोचता है आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ता इज नॉट द कंप्लीट ट्रुथ। आपको फर्क पड़ता है।
ओके।
बिकॉज अगर आपको फर्क, सी वी आर टेकिंग गिनी हियर एज एन एग्जांपल, बट प्लीज इंट्रोस्पेक्ट इन योर रिस्पेक्टिव प्लेसेस। सो वी आर जस्ट टेकिंग हर एज एन एग्जांपल।
या
फर्क पड़ता है, क्यों फर्क पड़ता है? क्योंकि
इसलिए तो बुरा लगा।
वो इंसान जब चला गया,
हाँ।
इंटरनली हमने उसके बारे में सोचना शुरू कर दिया, तो मतलब उसमें कुछ है। नाउ ऑल्सो फॉर दोस पीपल who generally feel they're very practical and nothing bothers them, there is a huge possibility they are dissociated. That's another topic for another day, but please don't compare yourself to such people who you perceive to be very practical. It's not practical, they may be dissociated and you're
Yeah.
not aware of it. But
Yeah.
getting back to this example,
हाँ।
वो इंसान चला गया पर गिनी के मन में वो
वो
कॉन्वर्जेशन
बात
शुरू
रह
हो
गई।
गई।
हाँ।
वो बात क्यों रह गई? क्योंकि वो बात का एक एसोसिएशन है गिनी के मन में। देयर इज एन इमोशनल एसोसिएशन विद दैट। सो नाउ व्हेन दैट
So let
पर्सन
me
लीव्स,
explain that
हाँ,
one second. तो वो ये कह रहे हैं कि एक अनजान इंसान ने जब कुछ कहा तो जैसे मैंने कहा कि मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता, वो कहते नहीं फर्क पड़ा तब इसीलिए तुम्हें बुरा लगा। लेकिन बात उस इंसान की नहीं थी या उसने जो कहा उसकी नहीं थी, क्योंकि वही बात अगर मेरे किसी अपने ने कही होती तो शायद मुझे इतना बुरा ना लगता। लेकिन जब आपको किसी बात का बुरा लगता है तो वो बात कोई कहीं बचपन में या किसी पुरानी कोई याद ऐसी ट्रिगर पॉइंट, जब मैंने शैडो वर्क के ऊपर वीडियो किया था तो मैंने उसमें ट्रिगर पॉइंट्स के बारे में आपको बताया था। बिलीफ सिस्टम्स के बारे में जो वीडियो किया था उसमें भी मैंने आपको ट्रिगर पॉइंट्स के बारे में बताया था। तो जो ट्रिगर पॉइंट्स होते हैं कभी कभी वो छिड़ जाते हैं और ट्रिगर पॉइंट्स छिड़ने की वजह से आपको कोई बात बुरी लगती है। तो वो कहते हैं ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ता, ऐसा आप कह रहे हो, लेकिन फर्क पड़ता है। प्लीज कंटिन्यू आरन।
one more thing we need to know, that when someone behaves in a particular way, it need not necessarily be a trigger that you feel bad. Suppose now I'm ill treating you, a human response is going to be that, like, why would you say that to me?
Right.
The difference between a trigger and a centered adult is a trigger will keep you ruminating about it.
Right.
It's going to affect your day for quite some time.
Okay.
But a centered adult, if there is no trigger, of course, when you say something nasty, it's going to hurt me. But then I rationalize and I ask myself, am I this person? No. And then I move ahead with life. So that is the key thing about a trigger and something which is said nasty. Because after this session, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया और आपने उस इंसान को बोलना शुरू कर दिया ये आपका ट्रिगर है कुछ नो some people's behavior is are nasty and you need to address it so please
हाँ,
don't
हर चीज़
confuse
में
that.
फ़र्क होता है, हाँ। इट्स
Now
एवरी
getting
केस
back,
टू केस।
now getting back to the power thing. उसने आपको कुछ बोला अभी आप सोचना शुरू कर रहे हो
हुँ,
but now at one level a part of you feels bad
हुँ,
that उसने ऐसे कुछ कहा and you're feeling bad. Now technically you need to process this feeling which a lot of people don't do it. So what do they perceive the more easier option to pick up the call and say इस बंदे ने ऐसे ऐसे कहा what does this person think of himself.
हुँ,
So now who becomes automatically above, who's the superior one here. इस बंदे ने ऐसे ऐसे कहा मुझे so I am now the good person, you are the
ओके,
bad one.
ओके,
Initially we both didn't know each other but I
हाँ,
said something nasty. But now, as I start, when you say something nasty, the bad person is perceived to have more power over you.
राइट,
But now that bad person has gone.
गॉन
So
एंड
what
दैट
is
मोमेंट इज़
happening?
गॉन।
Yes, but that moment is gone, but the marination has started, the internal marination.
नाउ
So
यू
now I
फील
tell people, see, I was just walking and that person says, person will be like, उसने ऐसे बोल दिया. हाँ, उसने तो ऐसे बोल दिया. ये कैसी बात हुई? ये कैसा नेचर है उसका? आज के लोग ऐसे खराब है. Blah blah blah. Now I'm feeling good. So now I'm feeling good that I'm तो a good person. This person was characterless and mannerless. तो
ओके,
अभी I am good.
हुँ,
He or she is bad.
हुँ,
Again, superiority. Now again, there's a hierarchy.
राइट,
Now, what happens in relationships?
हुँ,
You hurt me. What
हुँ,
is the actual way of saying it? I am hurt by you.
राइट,
But the language is generally you hurt me. You made me angry. You irritate me. If you notice, majority of the world speaks this language.
या,
That person irritated me today. No, I was irritated by that person's behavior. Now, when I'm
ट्रू,
irritated by your behavior, thank you, I can change it. But
राइट,
when you
बिक इट्स इन
irritate
माय
me,
पावर। In this
yes,
case, I am
yes.
in power.
So do you see the
When you
power
say
game
when you
now?
say that person did it, you putting that
Correct.
person in power.
Yes.
Perfect,
So
wonderful
now when I
example.
will not forgive you, now what do people say? जिंदगी भर मैं इसको माफ नहीं करूंगा. ये अगर मर
बहुत
भी
ऐसे
जाए ना
लोग
मेरे
होते
सामने, मैं इसको माफ नहीं करूंगा.
हैं। Okay.
It's a power game.
Hmm. Yes,
Now the
I
now the
agree.
people watching you will be like, what do you mean it's a power game? That person hurt me. I'm not discounting that.
Hmm.
I'm not discounting your pain.
Hmm.
I'm just bringing to your awareness that I don't resonate with the word forgiveness because in 2024, most of the words are convoluted.
Are
Forgiveness, convoluted. It doesn't have its true
convoluted.
essence. For example,
Right. I agree.
love is not blind, love is love. Your own nature chooses not to see certain red flags.
Yeah.
But instead of taking responsibility and saying that I couldn't identify the red flag, very conveniently we say love is blind.
I was blind.
प्यार तो अंधा ही होता है. So let's dump it on प्यार. Let's not take accountability here. And this sells unfortunately in today's world.
Yes. Yes.
Because most of the people are keeping you in the victim zone.
Huh.
Because the people you interact with also will be like, huh, end of the day you loved that person. Was your fault also? It sounds nice. You get it? So the
Convenience.
first thing is the power game.
Yeah.
So I don't tell people to forgive anyone. I don't even believe in forgiving yourself. Why should you forgive yourself? Don't forgive
Oh.
yourself.
Oh, you
No,
need to
don't.
forgive yourself.
No, absolutely
Okay,
no.
about this power game thing that you mentioned, let me just explain that in Hindi. कि एरन ये समझता है कि वो उसको नहीं लगता कि किसी को माफ करने की जरूरत ही है, खुद को भी माफ करने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि जब आप किसी और के ऊपर ये भार डाल देते हो कि उसने मेरा दिल दुखाया, तो मैं उसे माफ नहीं करूंगा। यहाँ पर आप उससे थोड़ा ऊपर आ जाते हो, या आप में एक अम, अ, शक्तिशाली होने का भाव आ जाता है कि अब मेरे हाथ में है कि मैं उसे माफ करूं नहीं करूं। तो अब तो मैं माफ
Exactly.
नहीं करूंगा, तो अब मेरे हाथ में ताकत आ गई और वो मुझसे नीचे हो गया। तो वो बुरा हो गया और मैं अच्छा हो गया। अगर मैंने माफ कर भी दिया तो हाँ, मैं, वो कहते हैं ना,
मैं
बड़प्पन
बड़ा
दिखाओ।
वाला.
मैं
हाँ.
बड़प्पन दिखाओ।
Look at the
तो
language.
तुम
Thank
बड़े
you.
हो, बड़प्पन दिखाओ, उसको माफ कर दो। तो वो कहते हैं कि ये जो है, ये एक ताकत और सत्ता में जैसे ताकत होती है, ईगो होता है, उसके हेर फेर का मामला है। तो वो कहता है कि मैं उसमें मानता ही नहीं हूं माफ करने में, क्योंकि आम तौर पे आगे हम इस बारे में बात करेंगे, एरन समझाएंगे, क्योंकि आम तौर पे जब आप किसी को, आप बोलते भी हो ना कि मैंने माफ कर दिया, 10 साल बाद भी आपको जब कोई बात याद आएगी ना, आपको दुख होगा। तो अगर माफ कर दिया तो दुख क्यों हो रहा है? तो ये कहते हैं कि माफ करने की जरूरत नहीं। हालांकि मैं ऐसा नहीं मानती, और शुरू में एरन ने एक बात बोली थी, डिस्क्लेमर, उन्होंने कहा है कि वीडियो के नीचे डिस्क्लेमर है, आप उसे पढ़ लें, क्योंकि हो सकता है बहुत सारे लोग एरन की बात से सहमत ना हो। तो आ, हर एक बात जो वो बता रहे हैं वो अपने हिसाब से बता रहे हैं, ताकि उनकी जो सोच है, उनका जो अनुभव रहा है जिंदगी में, इतने सारे क्लाइंट्स के साथ काम करके, उनका जो अनुभव रहा है, उन्होंने जो सीखा है, वो उसके बिना पर बता रहे हैं। उसको मानना या ना मानना ये वो आपके ऊपर छोड़ते हैं। जैसे वो हमेशा कहते हैं कि टेक इट विद अ पिंच ऑफ सॉल्ट, एक्सेप्ट, रिजेक्ट और इग्नोर। सो आपको जो बात ठीक लगे उसे अपना लो, नहीं तो इग्नोर और रिजेक्ट कर दो। सो वील मूव
But be
फॉरवर्ड।
open to it.
बी
My
ओपन टू इट।
request is at least be open to the knowledge.
हाँ,
मानो या ना मानो आपकी मर्जी है, पर at least
हाँ,
but I
दिमाग
like the word you
खुला
said,
रखो।
बड़ापन. Thank you for that word. See, even if you notice in our language, आप बड़े इंसान बनो, उसको माफ करो. Power game. See, I wish this takes number of hours for you to understand, but that word perfectly sits in. That's how
बड़प्पन।
even religion and spirituality says, आप बड़े बनो.
हम्म।
Spirituality doesn't say it. I would like to correct myself. Religion says it.
रिलीजन।
Spirituality is very different.
But spirituality
So,
advocates forgiving people and forgiving yourself. And you
that is,
say that one should not. How is
yeah,
that?
that's
You know,
that.
I'm perspiring badly here. Let me just put on the fan. You continue.
Yeah. So, instead of forgiving yourself, what do you need to ask yourself? Start asking yourself, what do I need to do to progress in life? Because everyone who's in the battle of forgiving and forgiveness
Hmm.
is not able to move ahead. Look at them, observe. So instead of whenever you tell people also, why don't you forgive and forget it? How to forgive? Do you know what
Okay.
that person did?
What is the sign that you have forgiven someone?
Again, I don't resonate with forgiveness, but I can tell you what is a sign of becoming more emotionally available
Balance.
and mature.
Okay.
The sign is, this is a myth people feel, that if you have forgiven someone in your terms, you will not have a charge. No,
Right. Emotional charge.
you will have it. See, when you love someone, for example,
Uh,
you can't just, I've even seen a lot of therapists and coaches do this mistake where they say, now think forward. No, there is a part of you that loved someone. You acknowledge that part. And as of today, I no longer choose to love that person. Now, I'll tell you why people get stuck in the race, in the zone of
okay.
forgiving,
One,
not
I
being.
will, since we were talking about how do you define that you have forgiven, let me just explain that in Hindi. कि मैंने इनसे ये सवाल पूछा कि आपको कैसे पता चल, वो कहते हैं कि मैं नहीं मानता कि आपको किसी को माफ करने की जरूरत है, और क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं होता कि आप उस बात के बारे में 10 साल बाद सोचें और आपका इमोशनल चार्ज ना हो। इमोशनल चार्ज का मतलब है कि आपको गुस्सा ना आए, रोना ना आए, दुख ना हो, हो सकता है पहले आप रोते होंगे, उसके बाद सिर्फ दुख हुआ होगा और अब आपको गुस्सा आ रहा है। तो कोई भी भावना अगर आपको महसूस होती है उस वक्त, तो इस बारे में हम एक्चुअली कल ज्यादा बात करने वाले हैं, क्योंकि कल जो है कुछ मेजर इश्यूज के बारे में बात करने वाले हैं। तो यहाँ पर वो कहते हैं कि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इमोशनल चार्ज तो होगा, क्योंकि बहुत सारे थेरेपिस्ट ऐसा बोलते हैं कि अगर आपने किसी को माफ कर दिया है, तो उसकी निशानी ये है कि जब आप उसके बारे में बात करते हैं तो आपको गुस्सा नहीं आता, आपको दुख नहीं होता। अब यहाँ पे मैं एक चीज कहना चाहूंगी, मेरे साथ जिंदगी में बहुत कुछ हुआ है। वो लिस्ट इतनी लंबी है कि 6 घंटे तक सेशन खत्म नहीं होगा। तो लेकिन आज बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं जिनके बारे में जब मैं बात करती थी तो मुझे बहुत दुख होता था, मुझे गुस्सा आता था, मुझे फ्रस्ट्रेशन होती थी, मुझे हेल्पलेसनेस फील होती थी कि मैंने तब उस बारे में कुछ नहीं किया और मैं आज भी उस बारे में कुछ नहीं कर सकती। मेरा बस चले वो आदमी मेरे सामने आए, मैं खींच के उसके मारूं तमाचे और उसका गला पकड़ लूं। बट आई डोंट नो वेयर दोस पीपल आर टुडे। सो बट इतने सालों में ये हो गया है कि अब उन चीजों के बारे में बात करती हूँ तो अब मुझे ना तो गुस्सा आता है, ना मुझे कोई इमोशंस फील होते हैं। तो ये मेरे साथ होता है। बहुत सारे लोगों ने, जैसे मेरे एक रिश्तेदार ने एक बार मुझे मेरे घर से रात के 12 बजे मेरे छोटे बच्चे के साथ बाहर निकाल दिया था, बेघर कर दिया था मेरे घर से। और मतलब उस वक्त मैंने जिंदगी में सोचा था मैं इसकी शक्ल नहीं देखूंगी, मैं इसे कभी माफ नहीं कर सकती। लेकिन साल 2 साल में मैंने बोला, ये इज दैट पर्सन सो इम्पोर्टेंट कि मैं वो बोझ अपने दिल के ऊपर लेके बैठे रहूं? भाड़ में गया, छोड़ो ना, जाने दो, हो गया हो गया, उसके कर्म उसके साथ। एंड आई फॉरगिव दैट पर्सन।
No,
एंड
pause. Can I take that example?
या
So, again, thank you for allowing me to take you as an example that now, uske karam, do you again see? This is the first point of how to learn to move on. So, I use the formula called progress. So, instead of asking people, why don't you forgive that person? I generally ask that person, what will help you progress in life?
मूव
What
अहेड।
needs to happen now for you to move ahead? You just do this experiment with people. Ask someone,
You ask me,
what
I'll
needs
tell you.
what needs
what
to
I
happen to
what I
forgive.
need, yeah, what needs to happen, all those people who've hurt me
Hmm.
physically and emotionally.
Hmm.
God, I wish they would all burn alive in hell and I would see
Hmm.
that.
So
What
this
peace I
is
would feel. But that's it.
now
I
taking
should
this
not be feeling
example.
that.
No, 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 no. I don't agree with this. This is one thing I tell my clients: have raw emotions. Don't act on it. So you have a desire to burn them. It's
No,
an
no, I
feel
don't have a
you
desire
want.
to burn them. I said I would love to see them burn in hell.
So that's a
I mean,
desire,
for
no?
whatever. But I'm not doing it.
So
Huh.
again, I don't want to be the bad
But
one
that
here.
used to be, huh? Now I don't think or
It's
feel
still
like that.
there because with the charge which you said, it's not possible. So again,
Okay.
I'll tell you the formula of instead of forgiving, what you need to do.
Huh.
Progress. Progress.
Okay.
So what is the first thing of progress is process the pain. So like how she said,
Progress.
I'm angry.
Process.
She
Okay.
is not angry with the person. She is angry with that version of that person that changed. Remember
Uh,
why people are not able to forgive. I will again explain this to you.
हाँ, हिंदी में.
When you अगर जब आप एक इंसान के साथ इंटरेक्शन करते हो,
Hmm.
that time things are good.
हाँ.
After some time वो बदलने शुरू हो जाता है.
Okay.
वो बदलते वक्त, so for example आप एक इंसान को जनवरी में, you met someone in January.
हाँ.
January, February, March, April was very good time for you.
हाँ.
Now मई में वो इंसान बदलने लगा. This is very important for you to know. Even people
हाँ.
who resonate with forgiveness, it will help you.
हाँ.
मई में वो बदलने लगा. Now
हाँ.
May, June, July was very bad time and you're like, I can't do this anymore.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Hmm.
people start questioning the January, February, March character. How could you trust this guy?
हाँ.
No. When you met that person from Jan, Feb, March,
That person was good.
he or she had exhibited behavior that were trustworthy.
Yeah.
So this is one version of both of you.
Hmm.
Then the next 3 months is another version of both of you. But
Hmm.
why you're not able to forgive yourself and that person is this version, the next 3 months version is questioning that how could I be such a fool in Jan, Feb, March? You were not a
Okay.
fool in Jan, Feb, March.
The person was
This
fooling you.
version, no, again,
Yeah.
say
It was
first
a
three
version of.
months,
He showed one
that
version of himself.
he or she showed a
He,
version
yeah.
which was trustworthy.
Right.
So that version of you trusted that person.
Hmm.
First 3 months is sorted.
Hmm.
The next 3 months, this individual changed. Now, so the next 3 months, you are the same version here, but not realizing now in the next 3 months, you have to be a different version to handle this version. This is where therapy
Okay.
comes into picture. But what
Oh.
happens? You start questioning the Jan because you have not changed. So you start questioning the Jan, Feb, March. So now you're dealing with two different versions, but there is only one version here.
Hmm.
Got
Samjhi.
it?
Wow.
So
Never
now
thought on those terms.
आपको question पूछने शुरू करते हो that how could I be a fool? How did I do this? You're not a fool.
Uh,
You're not a fool.
when you talk
But
about this, what comes to my mind? All those maids that come with big stories. Oh, you have no idea how wonderful I cook and how, and blah, blah. And when I agree to pay them what they ask for, and when they start working, then I am holding my head. Oh, God. How could I, believe? And what do I do now? So I'm at a
good.
loss.
Exactly what you said. How could I believe? So the first P in progress is process the pain.
Hmm.
How could I believe this
How do you
particular
process?
person? Through therapy. You need professional help.
Okay. Oh. अरे
Yeah, you
जिंदगी
need
में पर हर चीज के लिए यू कांट टेक प्रोफेशनल हेल्प
I
एवरीथिंग
advocate
हैपेंस
professional help because I've also realized that when it comes to an emotion which governs a lot of things of your life, we propagate self help. But when a physical element happens or when we need to purchase something, then we realize that we need an
नीड
external
टू गो टू अ
person to help.
डॉक्टर या
Yeah, I
या
think we need to break that. At least I am going to break it. So, mere har mein therapy is going to be a thing. This is a constant word you're going to hear from me.
No, I
At least the way
understand.
I deal
I
with it.
understand, Aaron, for a lot of things, yes, we should definitely take help and we
Hmm.
should think about healing our emotions and our, that part of us. But there are 20,000 things during one day. You
Hmm.
can't be taking professional help for everything. Like I
But the
just spoke about my
20,000
maid,
thing,
or I just spoke about that guy in the garden who I don't even know. I can't go and take professional help for that.
but if you are in a space where 20,000 things are going to affect you, then you definitely have to take therapy to come to a space where the 20,000 things will still happen, but it will not affect you. So, my second thing of progress is recovery and response.
Recovery and
And response.
response. Okay.
So if anything and everything is affecting you very quickly, means the adult needs to be grounded. So definitely you need therapy then.
Okay.
Because therapy will bring you authentic therapy. Maybe one day I'll do a session on what is authentic therapy. Authentic therapy is bringing you in a space of accountability, responsibility, as well as having the resources and skill set to manage that daily activity.
Wow. Accountability,
Responsibility,
responsibility, and having
and
the
then
skill
also
set
having the
to
skill set and resource. So, for
resource.
example, someone doesn't have the skill set, and you're like, think positive. I
Wait,
can't
wait,
think.
wait, wait. Step by step. First, you said accountability. So, when you say accountability, what do you mean by that? When you say responsibility, what do
So
you mean by that? And then the skill set.
that's going to take time because that's a whole
Just give
thing. But just the gist of it is
just the gist
basically,
of it.
huh? It's like This accountability and responsibilities, I take accountability for my action.
Okay.
I
That is
don't take
responsible.
accountability for your behavior, but I take accountability for my
My
action
action.
towards your behavior. It's two different things.
Not for your behavior, but uh,
Action towards your behavior.
my response towards your behavior. Okay. All
And then
right.
skill set. For example, काम वाली नहीं आई.
Huh.
Let's get, this is one major thing. Everyone is, I think more than their lovers, they are attached to their काम वाली. ना काम वाली
Yeah.
नहीं आई, झाड़ू पोछा आप नहीं कर पाए, ठीक है. One thing is either you pamper them, or then most of the people they keep criticizing them but they don't let them go.
Hmm.
The second healthier option is buy a vacuum cleaner. If you can't afford a vacuum cleaner, then झाड़ू पोछा आप खुद करो. Now I'll tell you why people don't heal also. They don't want to go through the process of inconvenience.
Hmm.
You can see there are two kinds of pain. One pain of not forgiving, in your words, and one pain. So I call one pain of being stuck and one pain of progress.
One pain
In-
of being
of
stuck.
being stuck, and one pain is of progress.
Okay.
No
Both
healing
are pain.
happens without,
Both are
but
pain.
one is
Progress is also
taking
pain.
you towards progress.
Okay. Okay.
One is taking you forward. One is keeping you stuck. So even if you go to therapy, please don't be under this illusion that it's not going to hurt. It is going to hurt. But that pain is towards progress. It's towards taking you to a more empowered state of well being. Where
Okay.
then you have the third thing, observe and be open
Observe
to
what?
life. Observe. P
And be
R O.
open.
O stands for observe and open to life and opportunities.
Open to
Life
opportunities.
and opportunities.
Light. Life.
Life. Alive. Life.
Li. Okay. Open to life
LIFE.
and
Opportunities
opportunities.
and
Okay.
options.
And options. Okay.
Please be aware, I keep improving my workshops and the content. So maybe if you come for the next, this I will change it. But as of
Okay.
now, let's keep it simple because there are so many layers in this.
Uh,
Once you process your pain, and once that pain is processed, if you have gone to a good, authentic therapist, your responses will be different. It is not possible your responses will not be different. Once your response is different, your reality has to change to some extent.
understood. I mean,
And
agreed.
in that reality, thank you, in that reality, you start observing certain patterns.
Yeah.
What is that pattern? You start observing your own role in the relationship.
Okay.
Everyone plays a role. Now ये सुनने में अच्छा नहीं लगेगा.
You know
Why?
what
Because I'm
I found out when I observed? So I observed that the pattern with my cooks and maids was
Hmm,
that, and this happened when I started learning astrology.
hmm,
So when I learned astrology and when I saw that house of people who work for me and why I have these issues, then I realized, oh, they only come here to learn from me and then go do their job, because I am supposed to. So uh, for years, I have noticed one thing. It's been a pattern that fresh people will come, they will know nothing about anything. I will train them, and so well trained that they'll go anywhere, they'll get three times the price, because
hmm.
I like things perfect. The moment they've learned, they quit for whatever
Okay.
reason. For whatever reason,
Now
they'll
I'll
quit.
comment on that. Uh, it may, I do not know how you're going to perceive it, but for the benefit of the audience,
Hmm.
identifying the roles. So there are parts of this story. One part is the maid comes, the maid comes and she learns and everything. That is their part of the story. So every story has an internal and external aspect. Now, this
Oh,
is what majority of the world again does. Did you see again, Guinea? It's really sweet of you to take yourself as an example. So let me please make it very clear for everyone. कोई दूध का धुला नहीं है यहाँ पे.
huh,
Okay,
huh,
so please take her example to understand your own patterns.
hmm.
But did you notice again her story was external? They would come to learn, they would get three prizes, everything is good, everything is right in its own way. But again, I would also bring the other part of that story to my own client and ask, how
Somebody
do you
at the
feel?
door.
Huh.
Just 1 second. Somebody at the door.
So, internally, what is in you that is allowing this pattern to continue? Where is your internal responsibility and accountability for constantly being in such a
I'm so
situation?
sorry. Yeah,
You got it?
yeah.
So, internally, what pattern, behavior, or attitude or energy you hold
Hmm.
that is constantly allowing this pattern to exist in your life. So, you have cracked the external pattern.
So you're basically saying that they are my mirror.
No, this is
No.
another bullshit people are selling you.
Huh. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Don't take everything as your mirror. There are
Okay.
two parts of the story.
Thank
So
you for
first
saying
part
that.
is no, but accountability is also there.
Yeah.
So one part is the maids come to your house, they learn, they understand, they go back and they get three times of the salary.
Hmm.
One part is done of the movie, but the main actress is you, right? So
Hmm.
why was that actress only chosen for this particular film?
Why?
So that we have to find out that what patterns within you govern this situation. So there are
So
two
that
parts of the story.
is another therapy.
No, it's in the same session. So what I also understood by a lot of because I work a lot with spiritual sessions also. I realized that we keep saying everything is a mirror, everything is a mirror.
Hmm.
So what happens? Either we are completely blaming ourselves with zero accountability to the other person. So it's either they are. So even when someone is abusing us, what is in our space? No, not everything is in our space. There are two parts to the story. That is why every movie has an interval.
Hmm.
So remember, either your initial focus was external, that they would come and go. Your
Hmm.
next thing was internal, that they are my mirror.
Hmm.
How about having both of you? So, what
Hmm.
pattern in your life,
Hmm.
or how do you feel about your own existence
Hmm.
that also encourages and entertains such kind of people in your life? So,
I
observe
don't
the
have a
three.
choice. I don't have a choice to entertain such people, not to
No,
entertain them.
again, it's subjective.
Okay. Ha, like you said, work on it and do it yourself. Right.
We can't have both. See, दोनों नहीं कर सकते आप. The maid is not going to be as per you. So either you go through. See, this is one thing I teach my client. You need to learn to go through a certain amount of inconvenience and discomfort as
So
long as it is progressing you in further.
I hope we are still on the track of forgiveness
We
and not.
are. So this is the third thing. Oh, you
Okay.
start
Oh.
observing your role in that picture.
Hmm. Okay.
Because if you want to forgive that person, most of the
Hmm.
people who are here also are the person who are wounded. Such
Hmm.
people are more interested that, I am hurt. The
Hmm.
person who has caused you harm is not going to come and attend this mostly.
No.
Let's get that
Or
very
they
clear.
will not even realize that they have hurt
Yeah.
anybody.
So we
Nobody
are
realizes.
addressing that
Everybody makes
percentage of
mistakes.
people
Yeah.
to know that what do we need to change.
Right.
So the third thing is observe what role did I do?
Hmm.
Did I not have boundaries? Oh, I'm a very loving person. Stop being a very loving person. You cannot be a loving person and not get kicked. What you need to do is continue being a loving person and have boundaries.
Oh, okay.
You got it? Boundary is the key word. So what
how
happens?
do
I will
you
go.
how do you inform other people that this is your boundary? You're being
when
nice
they
to somebody, right? You're being nice to someone. Okay.
hmm,
Suddenly, out of the blue, one day, one person behaves in a certain manner,
hmm,
and which is totally unexpected.
hmm,
And you realize that they've crossed their boundary,
hmm.
but they don't realize that they've crossed their boundary. So, how do
First and
you?
foremost, कोई भी suddenly नहीं होता है. What happens is we keep ignoring small things. At least in my experience, I have yet to come across one client where suddenly कुछ हो गया. What happens is because of our nature, if you are a very giving personality, a lot of time वो ध्यान में भी नहीं जाता है. If you are a
Ah,
very दिलदार person, जब लोग एक दो रुपए या एक दो डॉलर की कंजूसी करेंगे वो यू विल बी लाइक छोड़ दे यार मैं दे देती हूँ या मैं दे देता हूँ करेक्ट. It is only when that has repeatedly and suddenly one day you don't have money and that person comes and says गिनी वो 10 रुपए वापस देना, that's when it hits you. अरे इससे 10 रुपए मांगे आज मतलब, and I didn't have it. So for you, that particular experience becomes sudden. It is not sudden. That person is showing that trait from day one. It is
right.
your frequency of being a dildar that it ध्यान में नहीं जाता है. आप कोई भी सिचुएशन देख लो, कोई ऐसा ये सिर्फ सीरियल्स में होता है सडनली ट्रांसफॉर्म. कोई सडनली कुछ नहीं होता है एटलीस्ट इन माय एक्सपीरियंस. उसको वक्त लगता है या हम उसको ध्यान नहीं
You're
देते.
right. You're right.
Got it? So the G of the progress stands for your emotional growth, which is called adulting.
Emotional growth, which is called what?
Adulting. So we are physically a particular age.
Spell that out.
Adult, A-U-T-L-D, adult,
Adult.
ing,
Adult. Okay.
I-N-G, yeah.
Adulting. Oh, so
Yes,
basically emotional maturity.
yes. Now, most of us are kids in adults' body
Yeah.
because
Tell me about that.
emotionally mature people don't behave like this. So, what is adulting? Going through the inconvenience of that pain. इस बंदे या बंदी ने मुझे I experience a certain amount of pain and betrayal because of this person. What do I need to do now to move forward? And
Mhm.
sometime you need to move forward with the pain. This is another
With
thing that keeps you stuck with the pain. Some pain, like especially when you have experienced narcissistic abuse, which is another very huge topic, you can't
I've been
expect to
asking you to
come.
talk about it.
Yeah, you can't
That's okay.
completely expect to eradicate the pain. You need to move with the pain. So this is another misconception people have. You know what? How can I move ahead? I'm going to start fresh. You cannot start fresh, my dear. कभी कभी उस दर्द के साथ आगे बढ़ना पड़ता है. For example, God forbid you lost a loved one. Sometimes that pain is going to be a part of your life. You will have to move with it. The other one is R, regress.
One second.
कभी
One
कभी
second.
हाँ.
One second. When you say you have to move ahead with it, I
Hmm.
don't know what it is that you said that has made me very emotional. I don't know what have you triggered inside me when you say that narcissistic abuse. Um, you have to move ahead with the pain. So,
Yes.
how do you mean move ahead with the pain? How do
To
you
move,
keep feeling the pain, accept it, and move ahead? And you're saying don't forgive that person, don't forgive, accept it. Okay, this person is like this, and he's going to
I
hurt
didn't,
me, or
neither
she
did I
is
say
going to
don't
hurt me.
forgive, neither did I
Huh?
say accept. I don't remember even once. I don't believe in
No, no, you
acceptance.
didn't say that. I am asking you, when you say move ahead along with the pain, what exactly
Yes.
do you mean?
So, for example, of course, I wouldn't do this in a personal session, but because this is a group thing for the benefit of the audience, did you notice how Gilly said, you triggered me? I got triggered by your statement. Of course, I
Hmm.
wouldn't do this in an in-person
I
session.
said, I don't know what you said triggered me.
Yeah,
That's what I
but
said.
I got triggered by the words. Now,
Huh, I don't know which words
narcissistic
and
abuse, to
how.
very quickly say, it affects you on mostly every area. It's inhuman to even ask someone to forgive or forget. So I acknowledge that there was a part of my life, there was a situation or a person in my life who is narcissistic, is someone who I have been hurt by, and I know this person is not going to change, or this person is not going to even realize that they have done something. I now give myself the chance and opportunity to move ahead with the full awareness and acknowledgement, not acceptance, acknowledgement that this pain goes ahead with me and this will not change. Got the difference?
What
I
if,
move ahead with that pain.
what if uh, that relationship ends, but the pain is there?
Yeah, so you move ahead with that. No, again, this is very limited information,
I
but you move
understand.
ahead with the pain. For example, God forbid, again, it's diverting from the topic of forgiveness, but I'll get back to that topic. But moving ahead with the pain is किसी ने आपको दर्द किसी के वजह से आपको दर्द महसूस हुआ, हम चाहते कि वो इंसान बदले या उसको रियलाइजेशन हो.
नहीं होने वाला
हर
है।
एक के नसीब में ये नहीं होता है. So now again
99% नसीब में नहीं होता है।
my question is, are you willing to move ahead or would you like to remain stuck here? No, I cannot forget that person. I'm not saying you to forget. I'm just saying, are you willing to move ahead so that your life functions? I don't know how to do it. Let me help you to do it. Let me give you the resource and skill set and attitude. I'll help you there. No, I can never forget this person. No problem. Are you at least willing to move ahead in life? Now, when you
Okay.
ask people, are you willing to move ahead in life? They generally want to keep quiet. They'll be like, I don't want to talk about this. You know why? They don't
Why?
want to take the accountability to move ahead. Because when you're in the victim zone, you get a different kind of treatment.
You get a
Again,
different kind of.
I'm not discounting the pain that you went through.
Hmm.
But playing the victim gives you a different kind of treatment and privileges.
Okay. All right. Jay's
Others, why
question
wouldn't
here
you want
is
to move forward? Huh.
Jay's question here is
Mm,
I'm sharing it on the screen that
mm,
if you're saying move ahead along with the pain, will the pain
mm.
not fester into anger or rage?
No, go back to the P. If you have processed the pain, you will be able to respond to the rage in a different way. That's when I say you need professional help.
Okay.
Being in pain doesn't mean being engulfed by the pain. Thank you for that question. It's two different things. For
Hmm.
example, let's take a physical. Technically, I don't appreciate physical examples because physical and emotional are very different. But for the benefit of the audience, let me give a physical example. For example, you got hurt on your feet. You hit your knee with something and it's hurting now very badly. But then you have to go to office for an important meeting या घर पे कोई आ रहा है खाने के लिए.
Hmm.
If the pain is manageable, you will still process, right? You still continue. Yes or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is going ahead with the pain.
Okay.
Means this behavior of this individual hurt me,
Hmm.
but I will continue moving ahead with life. I will not be stagnant.
Understood.
What people generally do is उसने ऐसा किया मैं कभी माफ नहीं करूंगा या करूंगी मत करो आगे तो बढ़ो. You're
Okay.
stuck there. That's why I say instead of saying that forgive, ask that person, are you willing to progress in life? And the moment you will notice people who don't want to progress, the moment you give them a solution, they'll keep coming with different answers. नहीं पर आपको मालूम नहीं मेरे साथ ऐसा क्या हुआ ऐसा मतलब they'll keep giving. Of course, they need to
Ifs
outlet.
and
They
buts.
need no, but they need to do it again in a personal session. I will hold the space for you to bring it out. You need to vomit it out.
Yeah,
Again, processing the pain is not directly going. So there's stages to it. The
yeah.
initial few sessions, you need to vomit out your anger, your frustration, questioning your intel. That everything has to come out of your system.
Mm.
But once that vomit is out, what is happening with a lot of people? They're constantly looking at that vomit and they're stuck there. It's time to
Ugh.
clean it up,
Yeah,
metaphorically. It's time
yeah.
to clean it up. And the other thing in G, that is emotional growth,
Mm.
they want a guarantee that they're not going to be hurt again. So, would you like to know the answer to that?
No guarantee.
There is no guarantee. We are humans. However, if you have worked therapeutically,
Mm.
you will be able to understand much better and respond to the pain much better. But there
Mm.
is no guarantee that someone will not hurt you.
Mm.
Now, going to the R is regress. You regress to a part sometimes that suddenly something happened, or first say you felt bad, like how you said in the initial of the conversation. That what happens when that anger comes after 10 years?
Mm.
That anger may come up.
Mm.
But if you have done good inner work, the intensity will not be that much and your response and recovery will be much faster.
So when you say good inner work, what do
Hmm.
you mean by that? Are you
It's to
talking about
process
therapy
the pain.
here?
Yes, it's to process that pain. You need to
Okay,
process that emotional pain. And most importantly, healing is individualistic. Please don't take others' timeline as a benchmark.
understood.
Another very big mistake people do. कितना time लगेगा? I don't have the answer to it because everyone's healing process is individualistic. That
Right.
doesn't mean you're healing faster. That doesn't mean you're healing slow.
Mm.
It's individual. It's your pain. Honor it. Respect it.
Mm.
The E of the progress is your essence. Now, this is something which a lot of people lose, and this is your lifetime gift to return gift to that person who has hurt you. I'll tell you how. This person,
Lifetime gift to that
yeah,
person who's hurt you.
of
Wow.
course. Now, generally, you will see people saying, "This people hurt me. Now, in my life, I will never trust anyone." So I repeat the sentencing. So you will never trust anyone because that person hurt me. Okay. Before this person entered your life, what you would do? I would trust everyone. How about trusting, not losing that beautiful essence which you are made of, but having a boundary?
Right.
How about having wisdom? So you continue trusting, you continue being a loving person, you continue being a giving person, but now you have boundary and wisdom. So boundary and wisdom is a mandatory topic I discuss with my clients. But what happens? You
Boundary and wisdom.
actually, yes, because you have now gifted that person a lifetime of your essence. And a lot of people are so engulfed in that pain that even when I tell them, उनको एहसास नहीं होता.
But
No, मैं तो trust ही नहीं
I want to
करूँगा.
ask you something, not necessarily that the person may have to think that I will not trust, but maybe the person is unable to trust after that, even though they may try, but they may not be able to trust completely. Number
Hmm,
two, sometimes you may trust consciously, but
hmm,
subconsciously that fear and that pain may attract. Subconsciously you may not be able to trust, which is why you may fear that that person will break your trust, and which is why you may attract it in your life for a second
correct.
time, and
You're
then one
right.
after the other the pattern starts happening, and then it
Hmm,
gets worse and worse even though you
you're
want to
right.
trust. So what does one
So
do in that
when,
sense?
what do you think one should do? Subconscious is how much
Healing,
percentage? Ginny,
uh,
95%. एक
healing and
मिनट में.
forgiveness are related.
Subconscious is 95%.
Yeah.
So you're saying after that episode, if I'm not able to trust, it's an emotional problem?
Yeah. Yeah.
इमोशनल प्रॉब्लम के लिए कौन से डॉक्टर के पास जाना पड़ता है? To someone who will help you with your subconscious. खाने के लिए बाई चाहिए पर सबकॉन्शियस के लिए कोई नहीं चाहिए. That's I don't understand why people, when it comes to emotions, everything they think they can do it on their own. No, you can't. Even people who claim to do it on their own have gone through a series of things to get to a
Series.
certain level.
Yeah.
That is why I say you need professional help. So thank you for bringing up that topic.
Right.
So essence, don't lose your essence. Have boundaries, have wisdom. Now, what is wisdom? Wisdom is when you realize there is no weakness or strong. So when people say you be strong, no, it's don't be weak. No, you have every right to be weak. You have every right to be strong. What you need to come to a level is of emotional wisdom. If today something is hurting me, I may choose crying as a way to express my pain. That doesn't mean I'm weak. So I
Right.
focus on people becoming emotionally wiser, not stronger or weaker. Please don't ever force yourself to become stronger. Because the moment you say, I want to be strong, the weakness has to appear in your life.
Yes.
And the S stands for survival. Now, when we talk about forgiveness, it is not forgiveness. It is something that we are missing in our life, जो वो इंसान हमें दे रहा था. So, for example, if someone betrays us, then we are missing our own ability to gauge people's behavior. That is the skill set you need. So
Hmm.
what we don't know, you cannot trust anyone. You cannot trust anyone.
How
This person
how
is not
how
trust.
how do you make that skill set, or learn to do that?
How do you what?
Like you said, skill set, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
uh, that person was not able to gauge that person's behavior or nature. So how do you
Hmm.
do that? How do you, supposing
By
you were not able to?
exploring, by exploring, because most of the people who generally easily trust people, what I have observed in my career is somehow they don't believe that bad people exist. First point. The second thing is somehow they feel that if they are good, they'll get a direct ticket to heaven. Third point, religion also forces them to continue being good and
No,
entertaining the in
sorry,
the free ticket of heaven. A
repeat
lot of
repeat that
religious
third
people are
one.
selling free tickets.
Repeat the third one.
I don't
Third.
know what I
You
said. The
said
third one,
second was ticket to heaven, and third was what?
and this is all religion, huh? And third one is
Aaron.
I have to be the bigger one by
Ah,
forgiving you. मतलब आप गंदे इंसान हो पर मैं बड़ा अच्छा इंसान. So even in societal view, he is a very good person. भले उसकी
बैंड बजी हुई है.
so this philosophy doesn't work at least with me. Karma, religion, be the good person. No, be authentic, be
I
transparent,
agree. I agree.
and see the miracle in your life. See the
Oh,
change in your life.
people don't like transparent people. I am
Of course you
completely
don't.
transparent and blunt, and people hate me for it.
No, there's a difference. See, I can't comment about you, but a lot of people who feel they're transparent and honest, sometimes the way they say it might be hurtful.
That's what I'm
There's a
saying. I said
difference in
I'm
being
blunt.
honest.
I said I'm blunt.
So good, you have reached the first level of
I
intellectual
don't.
awareness around blunt.
I
But
don't
now
know
the
how to be
question,
sugarcoat. I can't do that.
you don't have to sugarcoat, but are you willing to explore the option of presenting it in a more receptive manner?
Yeah, I'm trying that. I'm trying.
Yeah. So
I've been trying that.
progress.
Progress.
And the last S is from being stuck to being seen. What do you mean by being stuck to being seen?
Stuck
A
to
lot of
scene.
people who are in, huh, A lot of people who are in this forgiveness zone,
Hmm.
Mahanatma,
Hmm.
they're stuck. And because they're stuck and they lose touch with their essence,
Hmm.
they don't allow themselves to also be seen by those people who actually will love them, respect them, and honor them for who they are. So, for example, when you
Oh,
say,
that's a big
I will
one.
never trust anyone, that essence is now gone, and the actual percentage of people who would love to meet that version of you will not have access to it. So now
Ah,
I myself will not make myself available to the world to be seen.
that's the
You got the
most
difference?
important point in the entire series.
But to reach this finale, you have to start with P,
Progress, process.
process.
Right.
So are you
I
willing to
agree.
progress?
Right.
Bus itna hi pravachan. It sounds
Wow.
nice, but it
So
takes time to incorporate it. It has
we decided on 45 minutes. We are 1 hour, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, but I still feel that we've not even started. And there's
it's a
so
lot.
much more that we
It's
need
so
to.
many layers, so many
Jay
layers.
says it sounds like ego pampering. Why do you say ego pampering? एंड हिंदी में नहीं है नाउ एरन जो भी बताया उसको शॉर्ट में जरा हिंदी में बताना एंड जयस
First and
क्वेश्चन वाज
foremost, what
वन
is
सेक वन
ego
सेक
pampering?
वन सेक वन सेक जयस क्वेश्चन वाज आर हीलिंग एंड फॉरगिवनेस रिलेटेड
That's a good question.
या गिव मी 1 second आई विल बी बैक यू प्लीज कंटिन्यू
Is healing and forgiveness. So, a lot of people feel that they need to forgive to heal. I don't agree with that completely. As long as your forgiveness comes as a natural byproduct of processing your feelings, again, I would like to ask you, what do you mean by healing? What's your definition of healing? What's your definition of forgiving? Because a lot of people's definition of forgiving is just to let go and continue with that person without redefining your boundaries, without um, educating yourself that this is not something that is going to add to your relationship. So, I would like to know, what do you mean by healing before I even answer it. But they are not necessarily interlinked. It's a dicey question. It has a lot of layers to it. I won't be able to answer it in a yes no answer. So that's about forgiving. To just go with the word progress and ask yourself, are you willing to progress in life?
आई एम सो सॉरी
No problem.
ओके तो मैं हिंदी में करूं बहुत लोगों को मदद होगी ओके पहली बात तो एरन ने कहा कि अगर आप माफी जैसी चीज से जूझ रहे हैं आपकी जिंदगी में कुछ हुआ है हर एक की जिंदगी में होता है और हर इंसान दुख से गुजरता है या अलग अलग तरीके के दुख होते हैं किसी को शारीरिक होता है किसी को मानसिक होता है किसी को भावनात्मक होता है तो ऐसी चीजों में पहली बात तो ये है कि कहीं ना कहीं कोई चीज पुरानी ऐसी होती है कई बार जो आपके दिमाग में बैठ जाती है जी हाय दीपा जिसकी वजह से आई जस्ट सॉ दैट यू हैव आल्सो जॉइंड जिसकी वजह से वो दुख जो आपने तब महसूस किया था वो बाद में सामने आपके अवचेतन मन को डर लगता है कि कुछ ऐसा कभी हुआ था और मुझे बहुत दुख हुआ था तो दोबारा ना हो तो उसको ट्रिगर कहते हैं तो एक तो वो चीज होती है दूसरा कई ये एरन कहते हैं कि मैं नहीं मानता कि कोई इंसान कभी किसी को पूरी तरह से माफ कर पाता है लेकिन इसका मतलब नहीं ये नहीं है कि आप माफ
No,
नहीं
no,
कर
no.
पाते
I'm sorry.
डजन
Pause. It's very individualistic. There are people who can forgive completely, but
हाँ
I don't know what's their definition of forgiveness.
हाँ ओके तो
Is
वो
forgive
कहते
because
हैं
a lot of people also forgive, पर इन द नेम ऑफ फॉरगिवनेस वो बाउंड्रीज को इनकॉर्पोरेट नहीं करते और वो पैटर्न कंटिन्यू होता है उनके लाइफ में।
हम्म।
अगर ये लोग बहुत कंफर्टेबल है इस पैटर्न के साथ तो गुड फॉर यू। आई डोंट एनकरेज दिस काइंड ऑफ बिहेवियर। फॉर
तो
मी
वो कहते हैं
फॉरगिवनेस
कि
मीन्स अ बिहेवियरल चेंज।
उनका कहने का मतलब है कि माफ करना मतलब है कि आपके स्वभाव में, बर्ताव में उस पर्टिकुलर इंसान के साथ या उस जैसे लोगों के साथ एक बदलाव आना चाहिए, और बदलाव पॉजिटिव आना चाहिए। कि मतलब आपको पहली बात तो ये कि आपको अपनी बाउंड्रीज बनाने की जरूरत है। आपने सबके लिए एक हद होती है, हर रिश्ते में एक हद होती है, तो वो हद सामने वाले को पता होनी चाहिए। और शुरू से होता क्या है कि हम लोग आमतौर पे कहते हैं कि हम जब किसी से कोई रिश्ता जोड़ते हैं तो पहले तो अच्छा तुम्हारी आज के बाद ये हद है, ऐसा तो नहीं होता। तो जब हम कहते हैं कि अचानक ये इंसान बदल गया और इस इंसान का बिहेवियर ऐसा हो गया, तो वो कहते हैं कि अचानक कुछ नहीं होता। उससे पहले क्योंकि आपका व्यवहार उनकी तरफ बहुत अच्छा था, तो उनकी छोटी छोटी गलतियों को आप माफ करते आए। इसी वजह से उसकी इतनी हिम्मत हुई कि वो आगे जाके उसने आपका दिल दुखाया या आपको चोट
It's,
पहुंचाई।
I'm sorry, just 1 minute if I have to pause you. It's not only माफ करते रहे, कभी कभी ध्यान में नहीं जाता है और
हाँ,
कभी कभी आपके अपब्रिंगिंग के वजह से वो
परवरिश की वजह
बड़ी
से।
बात लग now a lot of people when someone is angry and yelling at the top of their voice, you will notice a lot of family will tell the other person तुम तो चुप बैठो, वो तो
हाँ,
गुस्से में, तुम तो चुप बैठो, तुम तो
हाँ,
समझदारी दिखाओ। नो,
हाँ।
एक इंसान अपना बाउंड्री क्रॉस कर रहा है या कर रही है, मुझे समझदारी दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है। आई हैव टू बी assertive and say, can we have this conversation in a more mature way? I
हम्म,
acknowledge that you're in pain and you're disturbed. Would you like to speak it later, or can we speak it in like two adults? So what happen, अगर ये इंसान, अगर ये फैमिली में पला बड़ा हुआ है, उसको बड़ा नॉर्मल लगेगा ये। सो मेजॉरिटी का जो नॉर्मल है वो नॉर्मल भी नहीं है। यू गॉट द डिफरेंस। सो देयर मेनी मेनी रीजंस, या आप उसको अनदेखा करोगे, या आपका बड़ा दिल है तो छोड़ दो, या आपको ये नॉर्मल लगेगा। हाँ, तो ये ऐसे लोग तो, men behave like this, women behave like this. We have generalized so many statements that now we are not looking at the individual.
हम्म,
Got it?
हम्म। तो वो कहते हैं कि कई बार हमारी परवरिश की वजह से हमें जिस तरह से सिखाया जाता है, या हम लोग जो हमारे आसपास देखते हैं उसकी वजह से, या हमारे स्वभाव की वजह से, हमारे दिमाग के अंदर एक बात होती है कि हाँ ये तो आम बात है, ये तो सब करते हैं, तो उसमें कौन सी
हाँ,
बड़ी बात है। तो ये
करेक्ट।
गलत है। अगर कोई अपनी हद पार कर रहा है, और छोटी सी बात क्यों ना हो, उनको वहीं पर टोक देना चाहिए, जो मैं कभी नहीं करती। यू आर राइट, आई नेवर डू दैट। दैट्स व्हाई सडनली वन डे आई रियलाइज दैट ओ यू नो व्हाई।
So good,
सो
you
मेरे
got the
लिए
answer. Intellectually, you got the answer. Now you need
हाँ,
to process that what
हाँ,
makes
वन
you do
सेक, लेट
this.
मी एक्सप्लेन।
हाँ, हम्म,
तो वो कहते हैं कि इसका एक तरीका होता है कि उसको प्रोसेस का मतलब है कि उसको, उसके बारे में आपको सोचना है और उसको, उसका उपचार करना है। तो उपचार किस तरह से किया जाता है? वो कहते हैं कि जब आपको शरीर में बीमारी होती है, शरीर में चोट लगती है, तो आप डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं। तो जब आपके दिल को चोट लगती है और आप उस दर्द को झेल नहीं पा रहे हैं, या उसका क्या करना है, उसको कैसे, उससे आगे कैसे बढ़ना है, ये समझ नहीं पा रहे, तो आप एक काउंसलर के पास या कोच के पास क्यों नहीं जाते? तो बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें होती हैं जिसके लिए, जो कई सालों तक हमारे दिल में बैठ जाती हैं। अगर बचपन में किसी ने आपको दिल दुखाया है, किसी बड़े ने, किसी दोस्त ने, वो आज तक आपको याद है। इसका मतलब कि कहीं ना कहीं उस चीज ने आपको इतना दिल दुखाया कि आप उसको भुला नहीं पाए। आपको लगता है ना बड़े होने के बाद, अरे हाँ वो तो बचपन में ऐसा हुआ था, लेकिन वहां पर आपकी हद को उसने पार करके आपको दिल दुखाया, तो आप नहीं भूल पा रहे। तो कभी कभी वो चीजें जो हैं आगे चल के जिंदगी में एक पैटर्न क्रिएट कर देती हैं। जैसे कि एक बार हुआ, आपने उसे उसका उपचार नहीं किया मानसिक तौर पे, भावनात्मक तौर पे, तो आगे चल के फिर किसी ने किया, आप वो भी अपनाते गए। वो एक तरह से ये है कि जहर का घूंट पीते गए पीते गए पीते गए, और फिर आप बोल रहे हो कि मेरी सेहत अच्छी नहीं है, क्योंकि आप तो जहर के घूंट ही पिए जा रहे हो। तो मानसिक और भावनात्मक तौर पर आपकी सेहत कैसे अच्छी होगी? तो जब आपकी तबीयत खराब होती है तो डॉक्टर के पास जाते हो, तो इसके लिए आपको किसी काउंसलर के पास जाके अपने इन किसी भी काउंसलर हो, हीलिंग हो, बहुत तरह की हीलिंग आती हैं, अलग अलग तरह की बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं जिसके द्वारा आप उस जड़ को उखाड़ के अंदर से भावनाओं के जड़ को उखाड़ के अगर अपने अंदर से फेंक दोगे अपने अवचेतन मन से, तो आपको मदद मिलेगी। अगर आप ऐसा नहीं करते हो तो आई थिंक देयर इज सम साउंड कमिंग फ्रॉम योर साइड, एरन। अगर आप ऐसा नहीं करते हो तो एक होता है ना कि एक बच्चा है, वो जवान होता है और फिर वो बुढ़ापे में समझदारी आती है, तो भावनात्मक समझदारी आपके अंदर नहीं आएगी, और भावनात्मक समझदारी नहीं आएगी तो दोबारा जब आपके साथ कभी ऐसा होगा, तो एक तो आप रोक नहीं सकोगे कि आपके साथ दोबारा ऐसा ना हो, और अगर दोबारा ऐसा आपके साथ होगा तो आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा कि उसको हैंडल करने का सही तरीका क्या है, क्योंकि पिछली बार आपके साथ ऐसा हुआ तो आप कुछ नहीं कर पाए, सालों का दुख आपके अंदर है, आपने उसको प्रोसेस नहीं किया, तो इस बार आप वो होने से पहले डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म एक्टिवेट कर दोगे, और आप पहले से ही मतलब या तो अग्रेसिव हो जाओगे, डिफेंसिव हो जाओगे, लड़ने लग जाओगे, या खुद के बचाव में उस इंसान से रिश्ता तोड़ दोगे। ऐसी बहुत सारी चीजें आप कर सकते हो, जो मैच्योरिटी नहीं है, जो समझदारी नहीं है। समझदारी आपके अंदर तब आती है जब आप अपने उस दुख को अपने अंदर प्रोसेस करते हो, और फिर आप फैसला करते हो कि ठीक है, मुझे ऐसा लगा और उस इंसान ने जो किया उसकी वजह से मुझे लगा। चाबी यहाँ पर ये है कि आपको ये नहीं कहना है या ये नहीं सोचना है कि उस इंसान ने मुझे दिल दुखाया या मेरे साथ ऐसा किया, क्योंकि इस तरह से आप उसको ताकत दे रहे हो, बल्कि एक्चुअली वो कुछ भी करे, वो तो अपनी जगह है, आपको बुरा लगा है। एंड देयर इज वन एस्पेक्ट हियर दैट आई वांट टू
वो
डिस्कस,
कुछ भी करे मतलब हमें बाउंड्रीज करना, वी हैव टू हैव
क्रिएट करना,
बाउंड्रीज।
राइट? तो आई वांट टू आस्क यू हियर, when so there is this say in spirituality, somebody hurt you, some part of you allowed that person to hurt you, so forgive yourself for allowing that person to hurt you. So I will come back on that and you think on that. Meanwhile, let me explain the rest of the process of progress. तो वो कहते हैं कि आपको ये करना है कि जो भी आपको, ठीक है, आप माफ नहीं कर पाते, आपको दुख होता है, कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन ये उस तरह से हुआ कि किसी ने आपके मुंह पे कीचड़ फेंका और आप उस कीचड़ को देख के रोई जा रहे हो, आगे बढ़ो ना वहां से। उसने अपना जो करना था कर दिया, पर क्या आप जिंदगी भर वहीं बैठे रहोगे? उसने मुझे दिल दुखाया, मैं उसे माफ नहीं करूंगी, उसने मुझे दिल दुखाया, मैं उसे माफ नहीं करूंगी, ऐसे ही वहीं पर बैठे रहोगे? उसकी वजह से क्या होगा कि एक तो आप जिंदगी में आगे नहीं बढ़ पाओगे, दूसरी बात यह है कि आपने कह दिया इसने मेरा भरोसा तोड़ा, तो अब मैं किसी पे भरोसा नहीं करूंगी, तो मतलब आपकी जिंदगी में सिर्फ सभी लोग ऐसे आएंगे जो आपका भरोसा तोड़ेंगे। और अगर आप कोशिश करते उस समझदारी से काम लेने की, तो आप शायद आपकी जिंदगी में कोई ऐसा आता जो आपके भरोसे का पास रखता, लेकिन आपने तो उन्हें मौका ही नहीं दिया, क्योंकि आपके अवचेतन मन में आपने ये धारणा बना ली कि अब तो मुझे किसी पे विश्वास ही नहीं है। अब ये आप अनकॉन्शियसली भी कर सकते हो, सबकॉन्शियसली भी कर सकते हो, और कॉन्शियसली भी कर सकते हो, लेकिन कई बार सबकॉन्शियसली जब हम करते हैं तो हमें एहसास नहीं होता, और वो क्यों एहसास नहीं होता, और उसे इसी वजह से एक काउंसलर के पास जाने की जरूरत होती है, उससे बात करके, या हीलर के पास, ताकि आप खुद को पहचान सको, ताकि आपको पता चले शैडो वर्क क्या होता है। मैंने ये सेशन क्यों किया, क्योंकि ये शैडो वर्क का एक बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा है। जब आप अपने मन में झांकोगे तो आपको पता चलेगा कि कितने कितने कौन से दुख वहां पर बैठे हुए हैं, वो क्यों आए हैं, और एक पैटर्न जो उत्प्रेरकों का आपकी जिंदगी में लग रहा है, वो क्यों लग रहा है। एक बार हो गया, दो बार हो गया, बार बार हो रहा है, तो वहां कहीं ना कहीं वो आपके अवचेतन मन के अंदर एक कैटलिस्ट बैठा हुआ है, उत्प्रेरक बैठा हुआ है। इसकी वजह से वो एक पैटर्न बना है। अगर आप वो जड़ को उठा के फेंक दोगे तो वो होगा नहीं दोबारा आपकी जिंदगी में। सो
तो
यू
वन
आस्क्ड
सेकेंड,
अबाउट।
उस जड़ को हमें फेंकना नहीं है, उस जड़ को एड्रेस करना है और उससे आगे बढ़ना है.
हाँ,
वी
सो
कैनॉट अनडू
दैट
एनीथिंग.
नो, वन सेकेंड, दैट इज योर परसेप्शन कि
हाँ.
जड़ को उठा के नहीं फेंकना है। मैं
हाँ.
व्हेन आई से जड़, जड़ का
हाँ.
मतलब है कि वो
रूट.
दुख, दुख
हाँ.
या
हाँ.
वो इंसिडेंट। सो
हाँ.
लाइक आई सेड के बहुत सारे ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स हैं मेरी जिंदगी के जो अब मुझे पूरी तरह याद भी नहीं है। तो एक तरह से मैं उन्हें अपने, एक तरह से इन अ मैनर ऑफ स्पीकिंग, मैं उन्हें अपने मन से निकाल के फेंक चुकी। तो मुझे इमोशनल चार्ज भी नहीं होता, या आई एम जस्ट रैंडमली स्पीकिंग, या मुझे वो पूरी तरह से वो पूरी घटना याद नहीं है। अगर इमोशनल चार्ज होगा और मैंने फॉरगिव नहीं किया होगा तो मुझे घटना का एक एक डिटेल याद होगा, राइट? तो तुम्हारे हिसाब से
नॉट
माफ नहीं कर
नेसेसरी के
सकते,
लिए.
तुम्हारे हिसाब से माफ नहीं कर सकते, मेरे हिसाब से माफ कर सकते हैं, भूल नहीं सकते। मैं माफ कर सकती हूँ पर मैं भूलती नहीं हूँ कभी कुछ। और मैं
See,
क्यों नहीं
so
भूलती हूँ, क्योंकि मैं नहीं चाहती कि जिंदगी में उस तरह की किसी को भी मैं मौका दूं कि मेरे साथ उस तरह का व्यवहार दोबारा करे। सो आई डोंट फॉरगेट,
mm,
but I forgive. At least I try and forgive. Although there's nothing called try. You can either do something or not do something. तो कोशिश नाम की कोई चीज नहीं होती, आप या तो कुछ करते हो या नहीं करते हो। तो मेरे हिसाब से मैंने बहुत कोशिश की और मेरे हिसाब से मैं बहुत सारे लोगों को माफ कर चुकी हूँ। तो मेरे हिसाब से माफ किया जा सकता है। तो अब क्योंकि अगर तुम बोलते हो कि किसी को माफ ही नहीं कर सकते, तो खुद को माफ करने का तो
no,
फिर सवाल ही
let
नहीं
me
आता।
let me clarify myself.
हाँ।
When I mean to say that, when we talk about forgiveness, there are many layers to it. It has a layer of power. It has a layer of spirituality. There are many layers. When I say forgiveness, and why I replace the name with progress is because when you're in that power game, it has a lot of implications which we don't understand.
हम्म,
You get it? When we say I forgive you, at some level, at a spiritual level, you can't forgive. How can you forgive? Because if everyone is an extension of you as per spirituality, who are you actually forgiving?
हम्म,
You get the difference?
हम्म। Sorry, I was busy answering her question.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
See, it's not that you cannot forgive. I'm saying that forgiveness should come as a byproduct. What is forgiveness? You're basically moving ahead, right?
Yes, moving ahead.
That should
आगे बढ़ना है।
come that should come naturally. उसको forgiveness का term देख के जबरदस्ती नहीं आगे बढ़ना है.
हाँ, now I
That,
understand it
हाँ,
better। तो
that
वो
is what
कहते
I'm
हैं,
telling you. It is
कहते
not that
हैं,
forgiveness नहीं है. उसको
one
now
second,
no, no, this is
let me
important. Now when
translate,
people
let me
नहीं, I'll
translate, I'll
okay, हाँ,
forget।
हाँ,
वो कह रहे हैं ऐसा नहीं है कि जब वो कहते हैं कि माफ नहीं कर सकते, उनका कहने का मतलब है कि क्षमा के नाम के ऊपर कुछ मत करो, जबरदस्ती अपने साथ
जबरदस्ती.
आगे बढ़ो उस चीज से, और उसका एक बाय प्रोडक्ट होगा कि आपने उसे माफ कर दिया। जब आप अपने मन के अंदर उन भावनाओं का उपचार करते हो और आप आगे बढ़ते हो तो अपने आप क्षमा हो जाएगा। इन
क्योंकि
लोग
वो
वन और
awareness आ जाएगा ना.
हाँ।
See, now we are forgiving because of spirituality, because of karma, because of religion, because we have to be the big one, because we have to be the good one. So, what is happening? Forgiveness has become like one forced action.
हम्म,
That is why that pain is there within.
हम्म,
And getting back to your question of spirituality about forgiveness, that is why I like, see, spiritual. Thank you for that question. When you are thinking about forgiveness or progressing, in your words, forgiveness, please don't take spirituality and religion into consideration. You will not progress.
Meaning?
Because spirituality is a very different frequency, Gini.
So I am talking about that. I am
Yeah,
saying if you
when you
want to do
use that
spiritual progress,
frequency,
when you want to do spiritual progress, it
mm,
begins with forgiving people and yourself. That's what I feel.
if
Because when
it's
you do
natural,
shadow work,
if it's
when you do
natural,
shadow, I mean, you have to train it. It will not come on its own.
if
You
you're
have to
okay,
train
let me put it
yourself.
this way: if you've processed your emotion and feeling, and in that processing, you then realize something and you forgive, that can help your spiritual growth. But if you're choosing and starting only the initiation of that processing, I want to be spiritual, that's why I need to forgive, and that's why
No,
I've
no,
started
no.
this.
That's not what I
Nahi
meant. That's
then
not what
okay.
I meant.
Hmm.
That's not what I meant. That has to be an automatic progress process which comes to you as and
Organic.
when time. Yeah, organic. It has to be
Organic.
organic. वन सेक आस्था, अगर आपको कैटलिस्ट समझ में नहीं आया तो कैटलिस्ट उत्प्रेरक होता है जिसके बारे में लॉ ऑफ वन की जो मेरे वीडियोस हैं उसके अंदर समझाया गया है। और एक दो सेशन देखने से आपको नहीं समझ में आएगा, आपको वो पूरा सीरीज देखना पड़ेगा। कम से कम 15-20 सेशन देखोगे तब जाके आप समझोगे कि कैटलिस्ट क्या होता है। यहां पर मैं उस बारे में बात नहीं करना चाहती। एनीवे, जय का सवाल था, अनदर टर्म दैट क्लिंग्स टू फॉरगिवनेस इज क्लोजर। सो अ
Yeah.
लॉट ऑफ पीपल से आई नीड क्लोजर। आई डोंट बिलीव इन
Hmm.
दैट। I understand
No.
that you want closure for your personal satisfaction, बट देन इन दैट केस आई हैव नोटिस्ड वन थिंग, जब क्लोजर के लिए लोग जाते हैं तो मेन मुद्दा ये होता है कि सामने वाले की बैंड बजा के आना है कि यू डिड दिस, व्हाई डिड यू डू दिस, टू गेट आंसर्स। एंड देन ओके फाइन, इट्स डन। some people want to have what closure sex, some people want to
No.
have a closure date.
See, I'll tell you
I mean,
about closure.
why do you even need a closure? I don't think
Wo-
anybody needs a
Because I
closure.
need validation.
Exactly my point. Why do you need a validation?
No, no. See, Gini, we can't ask why do you need. When you are in pain, sometimes you need that validation. It's okay to have validation. It's okay for having a desire to have a validation. What will not help you is your association with that validation, that then only I will progress in life.
Agreed.
See,
This
it's
is what I'm
okay to
saying.
have expectation. Of course, when you're in pain, you want that person, sometimes you want that person to suffer, you want that person to say sorry, you want that person to realize. This all is okay. I'm not going to even one time say that you shouldn't have this feeling. What I want to address here is, don't stop your healing because of that.
Hmm,
And of course, sometimes you need closure.
hmm.
But suppose if you're in a relationship with a narcissistic, इस जन्म में तो क्लोजर नहीं मिलेगा, then what? Then what? Do you plan to stay? And even if you plan to stay there, this also I want to make it very clear. Suppose you come to this decision that I don't want to progress, I don't want to move ahead, I don't want to forgive. That also is okay. But be
That
okay
is
with the
also,
concept. Okay,
how
that's
is it
okay.
okay? You're
No,
stuck
we
in
are
life.
no, no, no. We are not responsible for anyone's choice.
Yeah, that I agree. That's their personal
If it
choice.
is your decision to be stuck, I will honor it.
Right.
But
I
I
agree.
will make you aware in a session what would be the consequences of choosing that choice. I am not here to change your reality. I am here only to create a space, provide you with the skill set and resources if you want to change your reality.
Right. I agree.
I will honor that. I'm not responsible for your life.
Choice, yes.
No one is responsible for anyone's life. This is another very big misconception.
Right.
Is there anything, or we call it? We end it?
Uh,
Any?
yeah, we can. Last question. If someone hurts you again and again. So I think that's a narcissistic quality that she's talking about.
No, 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 no. I
No,
can't come to that conclusion. With one sentence, how do I know it's narcissistic?
it it is one possibility. It could also
No,
be. No.
No. Maybe you're someone who doesn't have boundaries. That's why people are crossing their boundaries and you're being hurt again and again. How do I know? This
One
is just one
person keeps
sentence.
hurting you again and again and again.
Ginny, if you're a people
Because
pleaser who is actually who are manipulators in their own way, if someone is constantly hurting you again and again, my first question to you is I'm going to acknowledge your external reality, but I'm also going to look at your internal reality that what is causing this in your life.
mm,
फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपकी खिड़की खुली हुई है और बारिश का पानी बार बार अंदर आ रहा है यू आर टेलिंग मी बारिश का पानी हर बार आता है अरे जुलाई का महीना है बारिश तो होगी आपने खिड़की क्यों खुली हुई छोड़ी है
right.
so again people need to look within they need to introspect that what is in my space so there are two sides to the story people are taking advantage of me but what am I doing for allowing them I have to work on my boundary I have to know is this person deserving of my time
Hmm.
this is a victim mentality
Hmm.
and we cannot directly jump saying yeah narcissism hai because we don't know the story there is
Ah,
a huge possibility and I'm not talking about asta but every narcissistic feels that people are abusing them
okay.
you get
But
it they are
yeah,
generally the victim so there are many questions you need to ask to even know that one sentence is too less of an information for me to answer
yeah, obviously. Right.
so
Okay,
work on
so
boundaries
from 45 minutes we are now to 136 minutes, 1 hour 36 minutes. हम लोग कल बात करेंगे और कल हम लोग
we'll
बात
talk
करने हैं
tomorrow
उन रिश्तों के बारे में जहां पर आपके साथ हाउ डू आई से सेक्सुअल अब्यूज इन हिंदी. ओके, आपके साथ शारीरिक उत्पीड़न होता है, जहाँ कोई गलत तरीके से आपके साथ व्यवहार करता है। ये ऐसा मत समझना कि ये सिर्फ़ औरतों के लिए है, क्योंकि ये आदमियों के साथ भी होता है। बहुत सारे लोगों को मैं जानती हूँ, full grown normal men. I mean, when I say normal, I mean to say, heterosexual man or a bisexual man or a gay man. बहुत सारे लोगों के साथ ऐसा हुआ है। ऐसे बहुत लोगों को मैं जानती हूँ, बचपन में होता है किसी के साथ। अ, खैर, तो ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है कि सिर्फ़ औरतों के लिए है। और आपके जो हमारे बच्चे होते हैं, हम भी अगर हमारे साथ कभी हुआ है, तो हम भी कभी बच्चे थे। हो सकता है हमारे माँ-बाप को इस बारे में ना पता हो या उन्हें ना पता हो कि जब ऐसा होता है, तो क्यों होता है और किन बातों का ध्यान रखना है और उसका क्या करना है। तो बहुत सारे ऐसे केसेस हम सुनते हैं जहाँ पर खुद के माँ-बाप, मतलब माँ तो नहीं पर माँ-बाप इन्वॉल्वड होते हैं। तो कई बार अपने माँ-बाप को एक्चुअली मैं आज माँ-बाप के बारे में भी बात करना चाहती थी। आई गेस वी विल डू अनदर सेशन ऑन दैट। तो कई बार अपने माँ-बाप को माफ़ करना मुश्किल हो जाता है कि मेरे साथ जब बचपन में ये हो रहा था, तो तुम कहाँ थे? तुम्हें नहीं पता, तुम नहीं थे मेरी सुरक्षा करने के लिए। तो देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ एस्पेक्ट्स टू इट। तो कल
and
हम इसके बारे में बात
sometimes
करेंगे।
the parent itself is the abuser
Tomorrow we'll talk about that. So, thank you so
thank you
much,
so
Aaron,
much
for your
Jenny
insight.
thank you
And I will see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Goodbye.
goodbye
सो कल हम लोग इसके बारे में बात करेंगे। आपको कल मिलूंगी मैं 5 बजे। अभी फिलहाल मुझे एक लॉ ऑफ वन का सेशन करना है। सो आस्था, लॉ ऑफ वन का जब मैं लाइव करती हूँ तब आप ज्वाइन करो और तब आप लॉ ऑफ वन से रिलेटेड जो सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं आप पूछ सकते हैं। और अगर आपने नहीं देखा है तो मैं सजेस्ट करूंगी तो कम से कम 20-25 सेशन देखो, तभी आपको समझ में आएगा। सिर्फ ऐसे एक दो देख के सवाल कर लेने का कोई फायदा नहीं है। ओके, आई विल सी यू टुमारो विथ एरन अगेन। गुड बाय।